Recently, I made a video talking about my experience in Black Ops 6 Zombies and getting to Master Prestige in it. And I talked about a lot of things in that video, but one thing I also mentioned is the amount of Ultra Gobblegums that I've got in that time. And spoiler, I didn't get that many. And I was annoyed by this, but I didn't think about it too much. But to my surprise, in the comments of that video, everybody is saying that exact same thing, that it is nearly impossible to get Ultras in this game. And it's a big problem. And I was thinking about that, and I started to question, is it especially bad to get Ultras in this game compared to maybe another game? Black Ops 3, the only other game that has Gobblegums in it? Well, I thought we could probably test that out. And I have a really interesting way of this that I'm actually just really lucky on, is that I actually have a Black Ops 3 account, like my OG one that I used when it was like new. I actually have that on Master Prestige, and it's early Master Prestige. So it's like Master Prestige level 167 or something like that. And then I have my Black Ops 6 account that is also early in Master Prestige, but not as much because it is Master Prestige level 86. So there is about a day's worth of gameplay difference between the two, but I don't think that's going to make that big of a difference, and you guys will see why. Now, before we get into the comparison, the amount of Gobblegums I have between these two accounts, I will say there are a bunch of disclaimers that we will talk about after we go over the comparison, but it is going to be interesting nonetheless. Now, first things first, let's look at the Gobblegums I have on Black Ops 6 right now. So for our Ultras, I have 3 Perkaholics, 8 Wonder Boss, 7 Timeouts, 6 Near Deaths, 9 Raindrops, and 6 Hidden Powers. And that is not great considering I'm Master Prestige in this game. And keep in mind, the vast majority of my gameplay is in Zombies. Like, it's 9 days worth of Zombies gameplay at this point. So keep that in mind. I spent 9 days purely playing Zombies, and this is all the Ultras I have. Like, that is a bit crazy to me. Not one is in the double digits. Like, what is going on there? I mean, I know they're supposed to be the ultra rares, but come on, you know? And keep in mind that some of these that I got weren't even just gotten randomly through the rounds, because keep in mind they have prestige rewards that they give you every few levels when you're going through your prestiges, that they gift you some Gobblegums, and some of those are obviously ultras too. So that's another thing to keep in mind, that all of these are not just randomly obtained. Now you may be questioning if I just use a lot of Gobblegums or something. Well, no, I could actually tell you the amount of every single one of these Gobblegums I use. I've used 3 Perkaholics, 3 Hidden Powers, and 1 of the rest. That's all I've used. I don't use Gobblegums that often in this game. And I think this should give you a pretty good idea of how much Ultra Gobblegums that you will probably have when you get to Master Prestige. Now, of course, how does this compare to Black Ops 3? Well, let's look at this other account. Again, this is Master Prestige 163, where the other one is 86, so there is a difference there. But, I mean, just look at the amount of Gobblegums here. I mean, 18 Perkaholics, like what? 17 Raindrops and 7 Near Deaths, which is not that big of a difference compared to what I had in the other one. And obviously the other 3 Gobblegums in Black Ops 6 aren't in Black Ops 3, so we can't compare those. But like, I mean, just look at the other ones, like 22 self-medication, 14 round robin, 16 shopping freeze. Like, we have a lot. But then of course we do have exceptions. Like, we have 0 head dramas and only 2 killing times. So it's not all just a lot of all of them. Now right away you may think that, well, this just proves that the drop rate in Black Ops 3 is just way better than what we have currently in Black Ops 6. And it might be, but you do have to keep one other thing in mind, is that in Black Ops 3 there is Newton's Cookbook, where you could craft Gobblegums using other Gobblegums. In fact, that's the reason why I have so few of head dramas and killing times. I think I used a lot of those to craft fire cells out of everything, and at the same time I did craft some Perkaholics. I don't know how many, I can't remember, but I'm sure I crafted some of those. But I believe the majority of them were obtained just normally, randomly through the gambling system in that game. And even with that, you have to keep in mind that I did use some of these Gobblegums, because sure, there's dashboarding in Black Ops 3, but anybody could tell you who played Black Ops 3, even dashboarding, sometimes you just don't make it in time. And if I remember correctly, I was in the 20s for my Perkaholics at my peak of this account specifically, so being at 18 kind of does give you an example that I did lose a lot of these Gobblegums also. So no matter which way I look at this, I mean, it just feels like Black Ops 3 had a better drop rate for these Ultra Gobblegums compared to Black Ops 6. Like, that's just the feeling. And I stress feeling because I can't say for certain, because I just don't really know at the end of the day. I don't know the numbers behind these things. And also at the same time, I mean, there are those factors you could talk about, especially with Newton's cookbook, and also just looking at near death. I mean, 7 and then 6 in the other one. I mean, that's pretty matched on, right? So maybe these other factors did play into this. But then again, another thing I mentioned is that there's still the prestige gobblegum rewards too that you have to factor in. So I mean, again, just my feelings is that Black Ops 6 does feel like it has a worse drop rate than Black Ops 3, which would be crazy if that's the case, because so many people did complain about the drop rate in Black Ops 3 because it was trash, and then now it's even worse in this game. Like, what are we doing? That's just not okay. I mean, no matter how you look at it, 18 compared to 3 is just not the same. And honestly, what I really think, like, the best case scenario for this is that they have somewhat the same drop rate. Like, that is what I think is best case scenario for the Black Ops 6 drop rates. Like, it's at the level of Black Ops 3, which doesn't make sense to me, because in this game I don't think gobblegums are as useful, so I feel like they should be easier to get, so you just use them more often. So I don't know, dude. It's just a weird situation for me. But again, nothing concrete here, guys. We shouldn't go crucify Treyarch for this yet, because again, this is a very crude test. There's nothing solid here at all. I mean, I'm sure some people out there have the numbers for both of these. They could tell you much more confidently about which one has the better drop rate, but I just have a feeling that Black Ops 3 is better than Black Ops 6's, but I don't know. Regardless, though, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this, and also let me know how many Ultra Gobblegums do you have. I'm curious to hear that. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.